Hey there, everybody. This is Eric Bennis, one of the financial consultants here on the team at John Graham and Associates. Today, we're actually going to be addressing one of the main pillars that makes up a strong financial plan. And that main pillar is having a strong financial safety net. Now, let's break that down and figure out what that means and how you can implement it in your life. Now, when we talk about a financial safety net, what we really mean is having a cash reserve, or at least a reserve of money in short-term, readily available investment vehicles. So that could mean a money market fund, a CD, or even just a savings or checkings account at a bank. And the reason for this is you want to have what a lot of people deem a rainy day fund. If life happens, and maybe you have to go find a new job, or potentially some medical bills, or even a new roof after a hailstorm that you're back and forth with the insurance on. Those kind of things, we don't want that to completely mess up your other financial plan and just throw everything off the rails. We want to build the mistakes and hazards and chaos of life into your financial plan and just assume some of this might happen to you. So let's be safe rather than sorry and include this in the plan. Additionally, we want to have short-term needs set aside, because if you have money, let's say you're saving for a down payment and you're going to make that down payment in 6 months, it doesn't always make sense to invest that money because a lot of times investments are for the long term. So in this instance, we would include that in your financial safety net and your short-term cash reserves. A lot of financial professionals use the rule of thumb that if you're married and there are two incomes, so both spouses working, you typically need a little bit less of a cash reserve than if you're single and dependent only upon your income. The obvious reason for that is if one person, let's say, were laid off at their job, there's still the second stream of income. That being said, you probably do want about 3 to 6 months at least in your cash reserves. Now, that number is actually going to be different for everyone. That is just an easy rule of thumb, and from there you can begin to individualize and build a plan that actually matches your needs, because obviously different people have different, let's say, medical expenses. Some people, they have different health issues and it ends up costing them more each year. Other people, they have children who, let's say, if you got laid off, your kid still needs to go to band camp, for example, and so you want to have additional money there. It all depends on your individual situation, but the 3 to 6 month rule is a good starting point to begin saving towards. If you haven't already built up your cash reserves, then try budgeting your savings as a part of your everyday household expenses. That way, it's not something that you do at the end of the month if you have money left over, which oftentimes you might not have money left over. But if you say every month, $50 comes out of my paycheck automatically, then there it is. And when, the chaos of life happens, you'll have that cash reserve ready and waiting for you. The automation of things tends to make them much easier and makes a lot of these goals a lot more easy to achieve than they might seem on the surface. You don't have to save all 6 months right up front, you just have to start. Lastly, you want to review your cash reserves periodically, especially if you've spent out of them, of course. If you had a water heater go out and you replaced it, you're going to need to readdress those cash reserves and possibly build them up again. But beyond that, when you do meet with your financial professional and talk about your plan, this should be part of the plan that we're talking about, because as life changes, as you have more children, as you may get married, as the home that you live in changes and ages, these numbers that we're talking about might be quite different for you. So just remember to review periodically. Thank you for tuning into the video. If you enjoyed this one and want to see more, we do have a YouTube channel, Invest with JGA. And if you'd like to visit our site and explore some of the team members that work here or set up a meeting with us, that is investwithjga.com. Thank you so much.